Hi, I'm Caitlin Jenkins, the Family Law Vlogger. Today's vlog is one of a series of vlogs about Covid-19 and the impact on various family law issues. And this one today is looking at finances and when people are negotiating financial settlements and they've got a lot of financial information together and the effect of the turbulence caused by the Covid-19 pandemic on those discussions and the financial information provided. So the key point when discussing any financial outcome on divorce is that the asset and income and liabilities information has to be accurate, because before people can make informed choices about what the financial outcome should be and before solicitors can advise them on what the appropriate outcome would be, they need to have an up-to-date and clear idea of what the financial circumstances are. So if there has been a shift in the asset base, a significant shift in assets or income for whatever reason, and because of the economic downturn at the moment, then it is important that the relevant assets and information is updated. So what are we talking about? Well, it depends on the asset base, to be honest. If there's a valuation of a house, for example, whether some estate agents have had a look at a house and given a marketing appraisal, it might be sensible to ask the estate agents whether those figures are still about right, whether they need updating. It would be wise to get up-to-date values from various different organisations like bank statements for bank accounts, portfolio valuations, ISA values, those sorts of things often can be got online, but getting an up-to-date value of those, even if they were only a few weeks or perhaps even a few months out of date, it probably would be sensible to get the up-to-date figures just to see if they've shifted quite a lot. Then, depending on the case, you may need to think about other evidence. So for example, if you've got a business case where a business has been valued, so you've had either an independent valuer, single joint expert valuer, or a valuer on behalf of one or both of the couple to value the business, and that is, say, a month or two old, it may well be out of date. So it's likely to be important to agree with the other party, if it's a single joint expert or if it's your own expert, to approach the business valuer and say that you would like their advice on the extent to which their report or their value has shifted because of the change in the economy. A similar point may apply to pension information. So you may need to get up-to-date cash equivalent values of the various different pensions, and or if you've had a pension report from an actuary looking at various different options for pension sharing or other types of approaches to pensions, you may need to go back to that actuary and ask them to update their advice based on either updated cash equivalent values or some shift in some of the values thereafter. So you may need to go back to the actuary and ask them to update their report. And the final aspect I think you need to consider is broader evidence that isn't necessarily information. So for example, often when preparing a case for a negotiation, you ask both of the couple to, for example, get together property particulars for the sort of property that they think they would like or they think would be suitable for the other person. Now, those property particulars may well be out of date, even if it's only a few months ago, if the housing market in the relevant area has shifted. So you might need to update that information with up-to-date property particulars. The same point applies with borrowing and lending capacity. Often one of the relevant considerations when sorting out arrangements on divorce and finance is to understand what either or both of the couple could borrow, whether that's by way of mortgage or other borrowing against businesses or other assets. Now, if that information was obtained a couple of months ago, again, it may well be out of date now, given the shift in the bank's lending rates and their general approach to lending, given the economic situation, and also depending on the value of the assets against which the borrowing would be secured. Overall, therefore, during this economically uncertain time when asset values are shifting, the most important thing is to give regular consideration as to whether values have shifted significantly and may well impact on the outcome or on the discussion that you're having about a negotiation. If you think the value of the assets or of the income has shifted, then you need to get up-to-date information and evidence about that, because it may well inform the outcome that you're negotiating with or the outcome that a court may decide if you're in a court process. As always with the Family Law Vlog, these are only general indications and information, and if you need advice on your specific circumstance, then my details and those of the rest of the Mills & Reeve family and children team who are operating as normal, albeit remotely, are at the end of this vlog.